He was going to get, there should be procedural knowledge or procedural fluency and conceptual understanding. And if you don't, use the article to support your thinking, use your notes. But if you have questions, you can write those down too. But everything that you've learned so far and questions that you may have about these two concepts, okay? All right, so I'm gonna give you this one, and you guys this one, and the three of you can work on it together whenever you're ready.
You want to keep reading or pick it up? We can go?
Yeah.
Down
It's up to you guys. And I'm gonna give you, are you gonna keep, is anybody wanting to still read? No? Okay, so I'm gonna give you 2 minutes on this, and then we're gonna switch posters.
Okay, so consumption knowledge is the why, right? So
procedure knowledge, ability to carry out actions.
students
series
know
of
why.
actions.
They're,
Should we say definition?
sure.
Ability to carry
No.
out a series of actions to solve a problem.
The why. Two procedural steps, right? Okay.
Answer that one.
Can be viewed as recognized. This one is big for 4th grade, I thought, and maybe, I mean, just because that's where my brain is, but I like that it's like, so,
What part is it, Carly?
that allows one to understand why the procedure is appropriate for a task, so allows students
What do you think, Raph? Can you think of
to
an example?
understand
Of what procedural
which
knowledge is?
tasks are appropriate, or which,
Yes. Body fractions, invert and multiply.
Okay.
what
What was your first one?
steps are appropriate.
Body fractions. You know, is invert and multiply.
And I like that.
That memorization. Don't ask why, just invert and multiply.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same?
Yes.
Get the model for conceptual knowledge. Could
So,
go with that.
This
it's
poster
not-
may help you guys too.
teacher modeling, no.
It's like students drawing a model.
Oh, okay. Using,
Okay, about 30 more seconds, and I'm gonna have you switch posters, read what the other group
Models.
wrote, and see if you can add anything else on it.
drawings.
So the only other thing I can think of we could add is something about comparing the two, if I can find it.
And then what I thought the most interesting was, is that allow conceptual knowledge.
All right, if you guys are done, you can switch it over here.
Okay.
Leads to more, not just greater, but more and better. Is that proper English? This isn't English.
More and better.
Understand.
Stronger foundation.
Thanks, Carly. I'm gonna grab this. Watch your pen.
Okay. Okay.
So why to procedural steps allows to understand what steps
So
are appropriate.
when they know the procedural, they can't dig themselves out of a
Drawing
hole.
pictures.
That's not a quote.
Conceptual knowledge leads
That's
to
what
better
procedure kind of, right?
understanding.
Yeah, can you give me, like, how would you test
Mm,
their procedural knowledge?
So
What's what would an assessment of their procedural knowledge look like, or a demonstration of their procedural knowledge?
Isn't this what it would be? That's,
It could be, yeah, and what do we usually call those tests?
Time to.
fluency.
Like fact, time test, fact fluency, yeah, that could be one,
They cut our
right?
whole
Because
section
it's just
from that.
procedure,
Yeah.
so you could write that down.
Resist-
Non-word.
Yeah, anything that's not in a contextual situation. Mhm.
Non-context.
Just basically what the features mean.
What happens if you don't have it? If you don't have this, what happens?
They don't understand.
So.
So, one of the things that I see with kids is like
One could ask
How
students to
about,
compare.
10 times 15, and they told me that the answer was 90.
So-
Because first of all, they just did the calculation completely incorrect, but they don't know reasonableness, right? Like, first thing that I would be able to think about is that 10 times 10 is what? 100, so my answer should be greater than 100. But if they're not making sense of it, they can't estimate, they can't justify their reasoning.
And also, I don't say 10 times 15. One thing that trips them up is when I say 10 15s is equal to how many is 10 15s, and they're like, I don't really know.
Mm-mm. They don't know.
So,
So this is conceptual.
Okay,
I think that's what they were trying to say. Yes?
what?
So is that why like decomposing and composing numbers are so important?
Important, yep, it's exactly
Because they
why.
need to have that foundation of being fluent and flexible with
That's,
the numbers so
Yep.
that they can do
So
higher
to
learning.
make it conceptual, do they have to explain why these are different or just show that they are?
what do you think, guys?
Procedural, they just have to show, they don't have to explain
No,
it.
but if this
It's
is
conceptuals.
conceptual,
Oh, conceptual?
so do they always have to explain their thinking when you're assessing their conceptual knowledge?
If you want to know if they really conceptually understand it, yeah, in my opinion.
And you have to look for misconceptions. What is it that they're going to get stuck on? What do I really have to pull out of them? That's why I would use those flip books.
So with explanation.
Explanations, pictures, and that's what I said.
Show
to
me, prove it.
prove it, and that goes right back to the heart of our, over here. Our 8 mathematical, make sense of problems and persevere through solving them. Reason abstractly. How are these numbers related? Structure, repeated reasoning, viable arguments and critique the reasoning of others. All of these things are building conceptual understanding, right? Nowhere up here, like modeling with mathematics. Attend to precision may be more what? Procedural, right? But out of all of these, how many focus really on procedure? I mean, did you see, what was the number? Like, conceptual understanding is referred to how many times? Like 80 times?
So A7 versus less than 40.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna keep these poster boards, we're gonna come back to them. But this brings up